Have you ever felt someone smile at your success, but it didn't feel real? They cheer for you, but deep down something's off, because not everyone who claps for you wants to see you win. Some secretly want you to fail, and psychology explains exactly why. Today, we'll uncover the dark psychology behind hidden envy, so subscribe my channel to engage with me. First of all, we will talk about the mirror effect. Psychology says we judge others through the mirror of our own insecurities. When you succeed, you unknowingly reflect someone's unrealized potential. They don't hate you. They hate the version of themselves that never try. Your growth exposes their comfort zone. Your discipline exposes their excuses. And instead of being inspired, they become defensive. It's called the mirror effect. Your progress triggers shame in those who stayed stagnant. It's not your fault they feel small. It's just that your light reveals their shadows. And the second is the threat to ego. The human ego craves superiority. When you rise higher, their subconscious feels threatened. It whispers, "If they're winning, I must be losing." Psychologists call it relative deprivation. Feeling worse not because you have less, but because someone close to you has more. They may act supportive, but deep down your success shakes their identity. So instead of celebrating you, they secretly hope you fall, just to feel balanced again. Then comes the fake supporters. Ever met people who only show up when you're struggling? When you're low, they offer help. But once you rise, their tone changes. Subtle sarcasm, forced smiles, distant compliments. Psychology calls it schadenfreude, pleasure in someone else's failure. It protects fragile self-esteem. These fake supporters hide behind kindness. They'll say, "I'm just being honest," when they're actually being jealous. Watch their energy, not their words. Real support doesn't vanish when you win. Competition disguised as friendship. Some friendships aren't built on connection. They're built on comparison. They feel safe only as long as they're doing better than you. When you start improving, they shift the narrative. Suddenly, you're too focused, too proud, acting different. What they really mean is, you're outgrowing the version of me that made me feel superior. Psychologists call it covert competition, a rivalry hiding behind compliments. Real friends celebrate your progress. Fake ones panic and call it politeness. Insecurity, masquerading as advice. Some people appear only when it's time to advise you. Their tone sounds wise, but the message limits you. Don't aim too high. People like us don't get that far. That's not wisdom. That's fear wearing a mask. Psychology calls it projection of limitation. They project their own self-doubt onto you. Because if you prove it's possible, they'll have no excuse for staying small. Never shrink your dreams to fit someone else's comfort zone. Emotional sabotage. Some won't attack you directly. They'll drain you emotionally. They'll make you question yourself, plant doubts in your mind, or guilt trip you for prioritizing growth. Psychology calls this emotional sabotage. It's when people use guilt to slow down your success. They'll say, "You've changed. You don't spend time like before." What they really mean is, "You're evolving, and I can't keep up." Growth isn't betrayal. You're not obligated to stay small for someone else's comfort. Jealousy in disguise. Jealousy doesn't always look like anger. Sometimes it looks like silence. They stop asking about your progress. They stop engaging. They disappear, quietly. This is silent jealousy. It hides behind, "I've been busy." But deep down, your success makes them uncomfortable. Science says envy activates the same brain regions as physical pain. Your happiness literally hurts them, not because of you, but because of what it reminds them they lack. Their silence isn't peace, it's resistance. The control instinct. Some people only support you when they can control you. The moment you start thinking for yourself, the dynamic changes. They'll guilt you, remind you of who you used to be, try to pull you back into predictability. Psychology calls it identity control. They need you to stay predictable so they can feel safe. But growth demands evolution. Never let anyone chain you to your old self just because it comforts them. The failure fantasy. This one's dark, but real. Some people quietly imagine your downfall. Every risk you take, they predict failure. Every new step, they say, let's see how long it lasts. Psychologists call this defensive pessimism. They hope for your failure so they never have to face their own stagnation. Your success confronts them. Your failure comforts them. That's why they pray for your mistakes. Not because you deserve them, but because it helps them exploit staying average.
The light that exposes shadows. Your success doesn't create hate, it reveals it. When you grow, you expose the truth around you. The genuine celebrate, the fake crumble. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. You weren't born to blend in. You were meant to illuminate what's possible. Yes, it'll make some people uncomfortable, but that's how you know you're growing in the right direction. The truth. The psychology of hidden envy isn't about hating people back. It's about understanding them, so you can rise above them. When people secretly want you to fail, remember, their reaction is not your reflection. Your success doesn't make you arrogant. Their discomfort doesn't make you wrong. Keep winning silently. Keep growing gracefully. Because real power doesn't announce itself. It simply shows results. And when it does, you won't need to prove anything to anyone. If you like this video, then definitely subscribe, because a person's mind speaks more than his habits. So see you with the next video. Goodbye.